So Tai Chi Walk, let's check that out. Moving back slightly. So in Tai Chi Walk, let's do it first and then we'll talk about it, okay? Let's put our hands at our waist. Hands at our waist, we can still drop the shoulder, right? And we don't have to stand up straight. We can still relax the knees because that's Tai Chi posture. And it will help us with all of movements to always relax the knee, but never to the point where they're so bent. Because there's no start of a energy beginning. So we're relaxed, we're ready for that energy to start, okay? We're in good Tai Chi posture. We're at a straightaway because we're forward. This time we're going to actually pivot on the right heel as if we're zigzagging and walking in the right direction, right-handed direction. We're going to shift our weight because Tai Chi says 2 feet cannot be weighted. Therefore, the weight has to be on that right pivoted foot. The left heel can go out in an L stance. Here we go. L stance. Energy here on the right needs to be generated through your system all the way over to create a bow stance. Flatten down, knee not beyond the toe, 45-degree on the back foot. This is our bow stance. The choreograph says now we have to, from a bow stance, we have to sit down and we have to sit back. Lots of people who know this are forgetting this portion. You're going to have to pivot out to the left and you're going to have to zigzag to the left position. And you're going to have to shift your weight and come out on an L on the line or parallel to the line of this left foot. You're going to generate the energy from the back or left foot rather, and then come down and do a bow stance. Knee not beyond the toe, knee not locked in. Sit back, sit down on that imaginary stool. And this actually helps because your energy can spiral out on a zigzag, shift your weight, L stance, move the energy an alternating way and come down on a flat bow stance. Sit back, sit down. The better you can store this energy, the more power you have to perform your Tai Chi. Zigzag to the left as if you're walking that direction, heel out on an L, move the energy, turn the hips and waist, flatten down, bow stance. Sit back, sit down, lengthen out that front foot, zigzag to the right, both hips in the right direction, heel, move the energy because the energy should not have gone to that forward foot, only now. Sit back, sit down, pivot out as if you're walking in the left hand zigzag, heel, turn the hips and waist, flatten down, bow. So the rate in which I'm taking you is very difficult because you always have to hold your weight. So in this exercise or in this Tai Chi walk, it's very important that you drill on your own as much as you don't like it. This is the foundations in which Tai Chi is built. If you can firmly do this and correctly do this, you're gaining lots of strength, lots of stamina, and flexibility to help you later when you put your Tai Chi upper portion together, okay? On the way back now, we're not going to quit. We're going to turn around so I can watch and I can do, okay, with you. All right. So let's just take a little rest. Drop your hands and just listen. So in this exercise, we are using a lot of Tai Chi principles. We're shifting our weight. We're also spiraling on our axle. We're thinking through, and we always have Tai Chi posture. Our head is straight up. When you shift your weight to the back foot, don't forget to sit down on that imaginary stool. If you like to see people doing something well, they're doing it well because they're exaggerating their movements. That's the way you should be doing. Exaggerate your movements, okay? See if you can implement that. Hands at your waist, good Tai Chi posture. Pivot with the right, walk in the right direction. Shift the weight. heel of the left, L stance. Turn the hips and waist, transfer the energy, bow stance. Sit back, sit down, twist out to the left, walk in that left, balance, L. Turn the hips and waist down. Sit back, sit down, twist to the right, walk in that direction, heel, turn the hips and waist, flatten down, bow stance. Sit back, sit down. Okay, don't look at your feet, okay? Twist out, heel, turn the hips and waist, bow stance. Sit back, sit down, pivot out, walk in that right zigzag, heel out, turn the hips and waist, bow stance. Last one. Sit back, sit down, pivot out, walk in that left zigzag, heel, turn the hips and waist, bow. Okay, I'm going to stop because there are too many things that I need to talk to you about, okay? So yes, you're on your journey, and yes, you're coming back to your home base, which is good because you've zigzagged, but you've always taken that forward L stance so you're not off to the side, and that's good. So we are learning how to do Tai Chi a little bit better. But what I see, these are the things I see, and when I say them, see if it may apply to you. There's not any wiggling of the hips and waist. It's so stiff that all you're doing is not using it. Remember we did this, turn your hips and waist? I don't see any of that. Everybody's saving their hips and waist and not swirling it. So when you're out, when you're here, when you're here, how do you exaggerate? You turn the hips and waist. A lot of you are just out, here, and I don't know, this waist, maybe it even happens before, so that when you turn, there's hardly any sway of this. There's no exaggeration where there should be. How can you get the energy to do an L stance and sway the hip if you don't establish it already? So when I say out, this whole section goes to the right so that it has this whole section then can sway to the center. So right away that has to be established, okay? So I see that in a lot of you, okay? So make sure you exaggerate, because what you do, what you feel you do correctly may not appear and could be improved on it, okay? When you do a bow stance, I'm going to do it this way, okay? When you do a bow stance, this leg is an arrow, right? But it cannot be straight. Once it's straight and elevated, you're locking that joint and the energy cannot flow. So how do you counter it? You don't dip it down this way. Once you dip it down this way, your Tai Chi posture is lost. But it's somewhere in between the stiffness and that dipping down that gives you a straighter look than something that's more curved, okay? So that one's important too. And why am I harping on that? Is because if there is a dip, when you finally sit, you don't have Tai Chi posture, and when you sit back, you're not collecting enough because it's already dipped down. So if this guy is relaxed and you sit back, here it goes. You can sit down a little lower. Not everybody's sitting down, okay? And it's not an easy a task. But here again, things are accumulated. If you establish something right from the beginning, that'll give you more energy and power to excel within that movement and continuously. So we said that there was in Tai Chi, there's a pattern. Once you establish that pattern and dig down a little deeper, everything seems to come together. Energy, confidence, just something that just kind of meshes really well together.